Hi guys, this is the second video for 4-3.1. I'm going to be walking you guys through the finger guide. So let's look at it real quick. Alright, so over here I do have the finger guide open so that way you guys can see it. It is a little bit kind of hard to see all of the dimensions, but they are all there. Okay, so let's look at it, and all of these dimensions are in inches. So let's make a brand new part file. So we're going to, brand new part file. We are going to make a standard IPT. Okay, so this part is going to be, it's not going to be super hard. At least I hope it's not. But we're going to break it down into sections. So let's go ahead and make an L shape. We're going to start on the XY plane, making an L shape. So I'm going to make a sketch right here on the XY plane. I'm going to create two rectangles. My first rectangle, I'm going to attach it to my origin and then just go straight up. And then the second rectangle, I'm going to attach it to my origin and go straight to the right. Okay, so once you have that, let's go ahead and dimension everything. The dimensions here, its overall width from left to right is 4.12, and its overall height is 1.5. Okay, so I'm going to click here, 1.5. This section right here, this width is 0.94, so I'm going to click there to there and type in 0.94. And this over here, this height, I have to look at the other end, is 0.76. So I'm going to click here and here, 0.76. All right, so this is what you should have, a really short stubby L shape. Okay, once you have that, let's go ahead and extrude this. So my overall my overall depth from front to back is right here, 230. So I'm going to extrude, and I'm going to select both of the rectangles that I drew, and I want to click on this right here, symmetric. I don't want it to go in one direction or the other. I want it to be straight down the middle. Okay, so I'm going to split it so it's symmetric on both sides of the plane, and this is going to be 2.3. All right, so once you have that, now let's go ahead and start working. Okay, so we are going to start making the cutouts over on this right side of the part. We have two triangular sections, one right here and one right here that we're going to cut out, as well as this slot thing right here. So we're going to start our sketch right on the top, this top part here. Okay, pay attention to how it rotated. I'm going to rotate it like this so it fills up more of the space on my screen. And I'm going to go to project my geometry. Okay, because I do want to use my stuff that I have there as reference. I'm going to make two lines. You know, if you hover, you can attach it to the center point, but I don't want to. I don't want to do that yet. I just want to move my line so that way, or move my point to where it's yellow, and then kind of attach it there, and then the same thing over here on the bottom. Okay, I'll dimension this in a little bit. Okay, and then right here under the rectangle pull down, I want you to go to center, slot center to center. Okay, so what a slot does is it attaches two circles to the end of a rectangle. So I'm just going to hover right here, and I'm going to move my cursor to the right so that way I see that dotted blue line pop up. I'm going to click, move my cursor out, and then move my cursor up. So as you see, I have two arcs attached to two lines, in which case it's just a rectangle with two circles on it. All right, so once I have all of this, now I'm going to dimension things. So I'm going to go to dimension, okay, and I'm going to say that this line right here, all I did was click on this green or this yellow line, blue line, and then I'm going to move my cursor down, and this is going to be 1.9. Okay, things move, and that's fine. Don't get too freaked out. We're just going to keep on moving. Click on this, move my cursor up, 1.9. Okay, I'm going to click again on this line here, move my cursor to the right, and this is going to be 0.3. And this over here is also going to be 0.3. So all I did was click on the line and move my cursor out. Now I'm going to dimension our slot. Okay, so this to that is going to be 0.78. And then I'm going to click on this leftmost, I'm sorry, my rightmost line of my part to the arc. So as you guys see, it's connected to the center point of that arc. And that's exactly what I want. I want to dimension this at 1.12 and say okay, and there you go. So I just need to go ahead and add one more dimension, and that's going to be this 0.46 dimension right here. And that's just making sure that we locate where things are. So I'm just going to click 0.46. All right, and everything is properly placed. There's not much else that we need to do. So once you have that, finish your sketch and go to Extrude. So when you're in Extrude, we're going to select this triangle, this slot, and this triangle over here. And we're going to switch its direction, or we're just going to say cut, and it's going to switch the directions, and it cuts through the part, and that's what we want. Okay, easy. Well, for the most part. Okay. Next, I'm going to come over here, and we're going to cut out these rectangular cutouts that you see right here, and then we'll work on the arcs, or I'm sorry, the angles next. So I'm going to make a sketch on this plane, on the top plane, and I'm going to project my geometry. And once it's projected, I'm going to create and make sure that, or we're going to go to rectangle, make sure you click on the pull down menu of slot and go back to rectangle. I'm going to make two rectangles, and I attached it to this corner, and I'm going to attach it to this other corner. Okay, so once you have that, let's go ahead and dimension these things. This is going to be 0.4. And this one over here is also 0.4. And our width on this is 0.26. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and double click that, make sure that everything looks nice. If you get an error box like this, just click accept. And that is basically all we needed, was two rectangles. So once you have those two rectangles, go to Extrude and select this rectangle right there and this rectangle right there. Change it to cut, so that way it's cutting through the part, which is what we want, and say okay, and there you go. All right, the next thing that we need to do is we're going to make these angled lines right here. Okay, and this shouldn't be too difficult because I'm going to show you how. So we're going to make a sketch right here on this face. Okay, so we're looking here. I want to project my geometry, and I'm going to draw two lines. Okay, don't connect it to that green dot, just make sure that your dot is yellow, and make sure that the dot is yellow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my constraint, my equals constraint, and I'm going to click equals, and I'm going to make this line equal with that line. So once you have that, that's perfect. And then now I'm going to dimension. So this depth of my line, or like, you know, yeah, its vertical depth is going to be 0.44. Okay, and then the next thing I need to do is put the angle on it, and this angle is 30. And then I just need to do the same thing over here. Make sure that this is 30. And since I made these two lines equal with each other, any dimensions that I made over here besides the angle should have transferred. So that 0.44 transfers over. Okay, so once you have that, click Finish Sketch, and then now we're going to extrude. Make sure that you select just the triangles and cut. And there's the part. Everything looks great, everything looks nice and pretty, and this is what we wanted. Okay, so I'm making this video on Thursday afternoon and I'm getting kicked out of the building, but I will make a video tomorrow morning to show you how to lay this out on a drawing, top, front, side, with all of the dimensions. I know you know how to do that, but I think if I walk you guys through it, then I'm double checking and making sure that you guys understand 100% how to do this. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!